Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have the Black Horse Courier Reborn. The Black Horse Courier was Cyrodiil's only newspaper during the Oblivion crisis. It was owned by three Khajiit brothers and funded by the Empire, so it was always free. If you played Oblivion, then you probably remember it. It was actually a pretty cool feature that reported on random events in the world, as well as whenever you did something significant, like completing one of the main questlines. It was one of the many features that aimed to show the impact the player actually had on the world. It's an important feature in the Elder Scrolls series that's sometimes overlooked, but having the world react to what you specifically choose to do is absolutely essential for immersion. The mod reintroduces the newspaper into Skyrim, with a few extra tweaks to make sure it fits in well. The newspaper is now a privately owned company, so if you're interested in catching up on recent events, you'll need to find a reporter. They can be found in most taverns across the major cities, and they're always ready to sell their paper. They're fully voice acted too, which is a nice touch. They'll explain what the Black Horse Courier is and offer you two methods to buy the paper. You can either buy archived editions from the past, or sign up to a subscription service that'll deliver them to you whenever they're ready. Most of the time you'll receive a standard newspaper. Inside you'll read about important recent events, which are added dynamically to the articles. For example, if you killed a dragon near Whiterun, then it might say something like a blood dragon has been killed by Brodual near the city of Whiterun. The people of Whiterun are thankful to the Dragonborn. That's a very basic example, but shows how the paper will report specific details instead of just being entirely vague. The paper will also report on the events of other NPCs too. It's also done in a way that makes sense and is quite immersive. For example, if a random quest involves an NPC that you find in a dungeon, then the newspaper might report that the person is missing, noting that they were last seen at that dungeon. Generally speaking, the papers will provide updates for NPCs, the Civil War, and the Dragon Crisis. And how much you've involved yourself in these areas will reflect on whether you're mentioned in the paper. For example, if you're suspected of being involved in a murder, or maybe you just saved a settlement from a dragon. And finally, the standard editions also come with a gossip column by Joe Vassar. This is where the newspaper sometimes pokes fun at itself, or gives some general tips. So those are the most common papers. However, if you complete one of the more significant quests in the game, they'll release a special edition. This is where the Black Horse will report on specific events that unfolded due to the Dragonborn's influence in the region. The special editions tend to focus entirely on the event and how it unfolded. The special editions will also go into detail about various factions and NPCs, and you might even learn a thing or two. For example, during the special edition for the vampire attacks on cities, the paper goes into detail about the founding of the Dawn God faction. Reading the paper will also increase your speechcraft skill, which is a nice added bonus. In terms of compatibility, the newspaper is a completely standalone thing, so it will work alongside everything. The mod also doesn't need any other mods to work, not even the DLC or SKSE. However, the author does recommend a few courier related mods to make the more frequent courier visits a little more bearable. One is the Provincial Courier Service. This is an immersion mod that gives a courier a shack to live in near Whiterun. The courier will actually live there and come with a more realistic schedule, so when he's running around delivering letters, he'll actually travel from his home and to the player, instead of just teleporting around. Alternatively, you could try the Varied Couriers mod. This will simply add several new types of couriers to the game, just so you aren't seeing the exact same node over and over again. Overall, we think the Black Horse Courier is a fantastic addition to Skyrim. If you enjoyed the feature in Oblivion, then you'll definitely like it here. The author has done a good job in implementing it, including good voice acting and some extra improvements over the original, like the subscription model. The paper is also one of the less intrusive ways to show the player's impact on the world, which is always a plus. So if you're interested in giving it a go, then you can find everything you need down below. And as always, be sure to leave an endorsement on any mod you enjoy, and thanks for watching.